Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Anshu Jain from Qatar Day, and today we are going to be talking in detail about the process to form a limited liability company in Qatar. Qatar possesses a business stimulating environment that instigates the investors to invest in different business entities. Setting up a business in Qatar is not restricted to any specific kind of business. The region has expanded itself to encourage different company incorporations in Qatar. Our today's segment focuses on the establishment process of a LLC in Qatar and all the necessary details that you need to know before making a concrete investment decision. But before we proceed ahead, let's have a look at these standard guidelines to be followed while forming a limited liability company in Qatar. A limited liability company LLC is the most common business entity option that an investor opts for in Qatar. The minimum participants required to set up a LLC in Qatar are 2 and can get stretched to 50 with at least one Qatari shareholder. This business entity in Qatar is formed under 51% to 49% relationship, where the foreign partners have the flexibility to own 49% of the entire shareholding, whereas the remaining 51% needs to be held by the Qatari shareholder or shareholders. That means, in case you are planning to open a company in Qatar, your partnership along with your other non-Qatari partners is going to be of 49%, whereas the remaining 51% has to be owned by your Qatari partner, and you may have more than one Qatari partner. Now, what are the essential documents required to start a company in Qatar? There are 3 basic documents one has to obtain for registering a limited liability company in Qatar, namely commercial registration, most commonly known as CR, trade license, and computer card. How can we get around to obtaining these documents? Let's begin with commercial registration. This is the first piece of document that needs to be obtained from the Ministry of Economy and Commerce. The CR basically states that this is a legal entity with name X and owned by the shareholders mentioned therein. And to obtain the CR, one needs to go through the following steps. Trade name. Get the trade name of your business. It is to be kept in mind that it should be a unique name. Also note that if your desired name does not have any meaning in Arabic, you will have to pay an extra amount of Qatari Riyal 1000. The second step, Articles of Association. The next step is to get your Articles of Association drafted that would mention all the details of the shareholders and the company. And the Ministry of Justice in Qatar is your go-to place for this step. Step number 3. Now that you have your trade name and Articles of Association ready, you can submit them for your business to receive the CR. And at this point, you will be asked about the type of activity your business is conducting, and depending on the same, a price will be fixed. The price to obtain ranges between Qatari Riyal 1500 to 7000 per year. And one can also have more than one business activity associated with the company, but each activity will be charged separately. Some business activities may require pre-approval from another ministry. For example, opening a pharmacy or a medical clinic will need approval from the Ministry of Health, or in case of opening a school or an educational institution, prior approval is needed from the Supreme Council of Education. However, if the nature of business belongs to the standard category like opening a trading company or a marketing agency, then no prior approval is needed from other ministries for those kind of enterprises. Now the final step is to pay the respective fee for each business and the processing fee. And once all these information is submitted to the Ministry of Economy and Commerce, the CR, that is commercial registration, will be issued. Please note that all the shareholders have to be present in person to verify their identity to obtain the CR. I would like to highlight an important point here. The number that you would be registering while applying for commercial registration has to be an Ooredoo number. because the time that you will be applying for the renewal, at that time you will have to send a message to the Ministry of Labour, and that message can be sent only via an Ooredoo number. So make sure the number that you are registering has to be an Ooredoo number. What is the validity of the CR and its usefulness? The CR validity is usually for 1 year, renewable every year. The renewal process is fairly easy and can be done online. For renewal purposes, you may approach Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now here are a few things that you can do with your CR. Open a corporate bank account, invoice and accept payments from the customers, buy and own assets under the company's name. How can one obtain a trade license? After receiving the CR, the next step is to obtain a trade license. Before obtaining a trade license, it is compulsory to have an office premise booked. This is important to rent an office space that has to be approved by the Ministry of Economy and Commerce for conducting the mentioned business activity. The first step here is to fill out the requisite application form available at the MEC, that is Ministry of Economy and Commerce website, and submit it along with the following documents: ID card of the authorized person in the business, copy of the CR, that is commercial registration, copy of Articles of Association, photo of the office building that highlights the office address, that is the blue plate, building completion certificate and ID of the building owner, rental acknowledgement, ownership instrument and civil defense approval, authorization letter in real estate rents in case of subcontracts. How long does it take to obtain a trade license? After successfully submitting the documents, one will receive the SMS confirming that the application has been received and that our Ministry of Economy and Commerce representative will be coming for office inspection. Once the inspection has been successfully conducted, MEC will send another SMS within 24 hours stating that the trade license is ready for collection. One has to visit the MEC, pay the necessary fees for the trade license, which is usually Qatari Riyal 500 with an additional Qatari Riyal 10 as inspection fees, and a printout of the trade license will be handed over. You have to take a note that once you receive the commercial registration and the trade license, then you will have to receive your tax card that you will be receiving from Ministry of Economy and Commerce itself. How does one get the computer card? The computer card is issued by the Ministry of Interior's Immigration Department and is basically a document that signifies who is the signing authority on behalf of the company. To apply for your computer card, one needs an official company stamp to be used on all official paperwork while applying for the card. The application for the computer card has to be submitted with the Immigration and Passport Control Office, and the following documents are required: the requisite application form duly filled with all the required details, CR copy, trade license copy, ID copies of all the shareholders in the company, ID copies of individuals who need to be on the computer card. While the Qatari partner in your enterprise needs to be listed on the computer card, the non-Qatari member is not required to do so, but can be included all the same. After paying the necessary fees, the computer card will be issued, enabling the company to hire employees and issue residence and work permits and exit permits, along with many other facilities. How much time does it take to register a LLC company? The entire setup process can take anywhere between a week to 15 days, depending on how quick one is able to assemble all the paperwork and how busy the concerned ministries are during that period. Once you have finished getting all the required documents, that is your CR, trade license, tax card and computer card, you will have to submit a request for company registration of your new company online at Ministry of Interior. You will have to obtain the authenticated MOA, that is Memorandum of Association, by the Ministry of Justice. You will have to open a bank account and make a deposit of Qatari Riyal 20,000 at the bank, and you will have to obtain a permission to commence a commercial activity from the respective authorities. All the above mentioned procedures are essential and need to be taken care of to initiate the process and complete it in a hassle-free way. We can say that Qatar is one of the fastest growing investment and business platforms. And if you are planning to invest in Qatar, the best recommendation would be to invest in an LLC. Qatar not only provides you with a wide platform for multiple businesses, but can also help your company to grow at a rapid speed and leverage its potential. So this was a quick update on how to form a limited liability company in Qatar. For more such updates, for more such information, keep following us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, that is follow Qatar Day on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at the same time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Qatar Day. And for daily news and updates, visit our website, that is qatarday.com. Thank you.